How you doing? This is George with Truck Driver Nation.
Good
Um,
morning.
yeah, good morning. That's what it feels like. Now I understand why people have to get so pumped up on those TV shows. You're like, oh my God, everybody's running around so energetic because it takes a lot to actually make, a presentation when you want to convey an idea or a thought. But this one right here, we got a good one. And don't be whatever if we don't get emotional. I mean, we might get real emotional on this one. This is driving in the Philippines can get you killed. What tourists need to know. Um, and we've had some personal experiences. Yeah, the country's beautiful, but the roads are really and truly they're dangerous. So you obviously need to drive smart and stay, so you will actually manage to stay alive at some point, I guess. But that being said, in the reality, the Philippines has one of the highest road fatality rates in Asia. A lot of people don't realize that, and that's something you need to really think about when you're going to make these choices. You're going to get somebody to drive you around, or you're going to drive yourself. We drive ourselves, but it doesn't matter if I drove myself or we didn't drive ourselves. You still end up in accidents, and we're going to go through a series, and hopefully we'll try to remember it. So, first of all, I want to tell you my personal experience when I first got here. And I drove motorcycles, but motorcycles is probably the biggest thing I see tourists own. And I know they rent cars and sometimes they get escorts. The Koreans definitely, because they come in herds, like packs. They usually get like a
Van.
bus. What do they call those buses? I mean,
They
van.
they get their own they rent their own van for privacy and they have their own driver.
And that's great because those vans, they're great. They think they're NASCAR drivers. And
Oh.
even when we were in one, we rented one when we came back from Oslo, coming back to Cebu. And I was so tired. I was like, well, if he wrecks and kills us, it's the afterlife. So, and I mean, it was just bad. Even the regular buses, we took public transit buses all over the place. Again, well, tell me what you thought, baby.
They're they're aggressive drivers. They're inconsiderate drivers. They don't care about the safety of their passengers. The life of your passengers are in your hands and they don't even care about it.
Mm-mm. And I was in Pampanga and I was driving a motorcycle. And when you're on the parking decks, that concrete on those parking decks is extremely smooth. No corrugation, no type of texture topped or nothing like that. And these buildings have a tendency of leaking just because they're put together so greatly. They're so fine-tuned that the water comes through to the loading decks. And I saw a boy on a motorcycle. He hit it, slid sideways, and everybody ran out there. I'm like, oh my goodness, what? It was unexpected. And he was okay and everything. But I was coming out of that same loading dock a different day, and it was a dry day. And the wheel on the front just wobbled, and I lost control. And I actually hit the corner of my face, my shoulder, and so the corner of my eye, the side of my head, and everything. And it could have been bad. Okay. Wear those helmets. From then on, I wear a helmet. There ain't no question. I don't care what anybody's doing. I wear a helmet.
You will see a lot of locals here that do not wear helmets because they think they're invincible and they think people that have the brain to consider their safety is just because we're scared or we're afraid of being an accident. They think differently. I literally know somebody that said, "Oh, because you're from the city, you're so scared of not wearing helmet." I'm like, "What the fudge?" And I don't even have to fight about it, you know. It's my safety, not theirs.
Literally, that picture behind us, that doesn't even justify. They don't pay attention to the stop signs. Merging laws don't matter. Last night we were literally going to, and that's what made us decide to make this one. We were heading to
Mhm.
Ayala, and the car just kept coming up on me, and I got a super loud horn on this motorcycle thing we built, and they just kept coming over. Of course, I threatened to rip his head off, and I shot him in the finger and everything. I wanted to beat him down. I,
We were in the right lane. Well, we always
oh,
are.
we're actually in our lane,
Yeah.
period,
So,
marked
and
on the
this
ground.
truck was trying to insist of merging, and we almost hit him. And he intentionally is doing that because he knows we're in the right lane, and he's just whatever, you know. He could be drunk for all I know, but I don't care. So George was like, whatever, whatever. He was throwing tantrum, and I can totally understand that. A lot of these people here that have trucks, and not even as big as the trucks you guys have there in the United States, think that there's somebody that they will intentionally hit you and put you in, put you in the edge.
At this point, I'm on the verge. I think I'm gonna start because I carry a pocket knife with me. I think I'm gonna start stabbing their tires. That's the only thing I think because I don't have a weapon. I'm a hostile person. I mean, I'm not the nicest person on earth. But if you're gonna put my life in danger, because I was a paramedic, ran ambulances for a lot of years. In that aspect, I've seen some horrible wrecks happen, and I'm not going. And I'm legally in the right. We've tested it. We've been in the car that we rented for how many years did we rent that car?
2 years, even the owner don't want is insisting we still have, you know, another month for him to give us a discount and all that. He doesn't want to just give out the car to somebody else because he knows we really take care of the car
Yeah, and we were actually
and
hit three
safety.
times. We got hit twice with a motorcycle in the rear. Hold on, wait. Hold it. Now, well, hold up. Let me back up. I'm not in the bounce on our story, but she got hit. We was on a motorcycle. Another one was a click. Oh man, when I was starting to add them up, we've been in more wrecks than I thought.
Yeah, but we never were at fault. That's the
No.
good thing with George. Even though you'll see him aggressive and whatever, when it comes to driving, I never felt in danger.
Yeah, I've got over 2 million miles. I drove 18 wheelers,
Like,
but we were on a motorcycle. She got hit in the leg.
yeah,
Tell them about that one.
was. What scared me because he said, should we take it to the hospital while they're here? Blah, 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 blah. And me being whatever, right? I said, no, whatever, whatever. Basically, we didn't really go to the hospital and took my what do you call that? Not blister, but
Bruise. She had a
bruise.
bruise.
I was bruised on my leg for like at least a month. I don't really get that long bruise for
Yeah,
that
and you know
long.
somebody that loves vanity? That's a long time.
I was aware that the bruise don't really come out immediately. It may
Yeah, we
take
washed and I scrubbed and just
right.
stayed.
But I kind of worried about that, and I thought I made a mistake of not actually going to the hospital because that could have been more than bruise in my leg, you
Take
know.
plenty of pictures. Snap, 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 snap. Like whatever, and videos, content, road signage, the markings on the road. I mean, I did a full because I was trained on how to do it. I wasn't gonna let them get away with that because
Here is like the United States road. Only that we know like the way you're supposed to be driving on the seat of the car, the seat belt,
okay, the direction of traffic is the same way.
yeah.
The markings on the roads are not all at the same height. They put them all over the places, and you're supposed to decipher. Unless you're going along that common pathway and you've learned the terrain and the movement of traffic, you're at complete guess at that point.
Yeah, but the reason why I'm saying that is because you need to learn um your rights, I guess, because these locals will fight against you even though they're on the wrong. Like the last time we got hit was in the car, and that was a cab driver, and he kept insisting, um, what was his excuse? It should be
I
we
don't care
should
what his
be
excuse.
we should
I'm
be
not trying
giving
to step over her, but I didn't care what his excuse was. I know how to read signage. Okay. And you had lines for commercial vehicles that were doing public transit. And then you have standard four-wheelers and
vehicles.
two-wheeler traffic. You're not going to sit here and intimidate me. And all the lines mean it. If you don't know what a solid white line, a checkered white line, I mean, a dotted white line, yellow line, a dotted white, a striped, broken yellow line and all those things to mean. And even what a crosswalk is, that ain't my fault. There's no formal education training
Yeah.
in when it comes to DMV or Department of Motor Vehicles. Well, I'm gonna use the terminology I know, or the Department of Transportation when it comes to heavy equipment, compliance, safety, spot checks, and all that stuff. There's none of
Was
that here.
giveaway was his excuse, and there was not even a giveaway sign anywhere. He's
There
making it
ain't
in
no
his
giveaway.
head.
There's no such thing as giveaway.
His
Even in the United States, when you merge onto an interstate, see, I told you I was going to get emotional. When you merge onto an interstate, when you're coming off a secondary road, okay, and you're merging onto an actual interstate, or a U.S. highway, You have to yield. There ain't no sign there. It's understood because you're trained to understand you have to yield. You don't have right of way. And if you're going to actually progress into the ongoing traffic, you have to adjust your speed to that of the actual traffic and then merge safely if it's safe to merge. If not, you have to yield.
Can they see this picture or no?
Now, we're going to go over it. You want me to show them this picture?
No, but if you were, it's fine. If you were seeing this
I can
picture,
show it while we're doing
this
this.
white broken lines, a lot of them I can
Let
understand.
me show it because I want her to be able to see what she's got.
I
So,
think it's this.
no, it's this one right here. It'd be screen two. That's going to throw us up to the top right corner.
Chaotic traffic. This aggressive drivers, if you can see this truck or this Ford van, this is literally our daily lifestyle of avoiding them. They go in the middle, blocking your way.
Here, I think we have to adjust this. Can you give me 1 second? And I'm going to readjust this. That way you can see the right one. So that way we know we're on the right one. Okay, so this is the screen. Okay. So right here, what she's talking about here, go ahead and explain. But
It's that second. It's better if
this one
you
right
see it.
here,
They'll understand better the aggressive drivers.
yeah, this one right here that says aggressive drivers. Go ahead, explain.
Even though there's broken line and that's supposed to be, their chance to go to the left or right, they will instead stay in the middle.
Yeah, right there, just like that.
Stay in the middle.
They will ride the middle. They will ride the middle.
And you don't even know, are they asleep? Why are they in the middle? And I always insist of him honking, but he don't.
These scooters, they don't stagger their paths. They will literally fall one behind another. All it takes is one wrecking, and it's going to stack them up.
They will speed up
Yeah.
right in front of you.
You have to be one. If you don't know defensive driving, you will when you get here, or you won't make it too far because it's going to be a nasty day for you.
Safety distance here don't exist.
No, no, no. And braking time, following distance, and braking time, neither does that. Literally, that car slammed on us. These motorcycles here, and I get why they're there, but they have ABS on them. So if you got ABS anti-braking system, in case people don't know, and that right there will make your bike not completely stop. It's trying to keep you from sliding, but you're surging. And when you surge, now I've got a lag between when my brakes disengage based on the ABS until they re-engage. Those are seconds, literally. It takes your brain has to actually take a signal, recognize the danger, send a signal to your foot,
Before you
okay,
can
and
react.
then it goes back to your brain to engage. People think there's not electrical delay. There is, but that same thing is what she's showing here is not just, and it's not just unpredictable conditions, by the way, like you see over here. Give me a second here. All right, hold. I
I
think
think that's it.
this is it.
Okay.
So, for example, oh no, I don't want to do. I want to do this one here. Okay, so like right here, this ground here, this shows a wet pavement under the unpredictable conditions. They've got dirt on the roads. So, what's the biggest factor that well, not for four-wheelers, but for motorcycles, it's gravel, loose sediment. And that becomes a real problem when you're actually on a paved surface, blacktop, concrete, whatever format they've been paved them out into. That becomes a real issue, especially even at lower speeds. Like if you're coming to an intersection, you're getting ready to turn, you hit that, it's going to slide right out under you like it's, grease. And people don't consider none of these factors. And we see wrecks, big dump trucks running over motorcycles because they try to squeeze in between them. And here,
On a blind
it's
spot.
not like the United States. In the United States, we cover up the scene, okay? We take sheets, cover the bodies and stuff here. Now, you'll literally see the bodies with the crushed heads. And people's like, oh my gosh.
And in one day, you can, because of traffic, instead of us being outside, maybe um half of the day, right? Instead, we get from day to night, and in one whole day, you can see accidents 3 times.
Yeah, and I've seen them. They have a thing about carrying these propane tanks. I guess they're LP tanks. Um, and they hit each other and it throws their bodies through the air. I mean, I don't know how to tell you, and people, they'll just, even for the minor incident, they will block traffic, not move functional vehicles out of the roadway. Now you've got a whole interstate shoved backwards, and the main thoroughfare, like I'm gonna say, interstate and U.S. highways, they don't really exist, but the main 4 lane roads are jammed up. There's just, it comes to a stall. And what if you're actually need to exit or need an exit strategy? Now you got a real problem, and it becomes a real issue.
A lot of drivers here too, are what do you call that? These people that like what we just had last night, road rage.
Road rage.
A lot.
And thing is, they don't know what road rage on the level that I can take it to because they've never experienced road rage. I've had people in the United States, get road rage on me, and I carry weapons. If I feel even a hinkling that you're a threat to me, because dude, I don't know you, I don't know your intentions, I don't know what weapons you possess, I don't know what's under your garments, I don't know nothing. I will put you down on the ground. Okay. Whether I put just secure you or whatever it takes. I'm not going to let you put me in danger because if I'm jammed up in traffic, that means I can't move and you get out of your vehicle. Now I'm cornered. I perceive intimate threat to me. I'm that type of person because I don't know you. You can say I've seen the strongest man be put to the ground because they thought they were tough, and I've seen by little people, and I've seen and vice versa. Obviously, I've seen people be bullies, and try to mitigate the situation. You're not going to intimidate me. I don't walk around and tread on fear. Fear is one of those assets I wasn't, naturally encumbered with because my dad was ex-military and all my family's ex-military, and they built us to be savages. I'm not a wolf, but I am definitely a sheepdog. But I'm definitely not a sheep. So don't, that's the thing I try to tell people. And here they don't recognize that with me. And I don't want to hurt nobody. Oh my gosh, I want people just to live a nice, harmonious life. But you decided to escalate it, or you decided to put me in harm's way or danger, then yeah, we've got a real issue. And the thing is, you got to make sure that you're in the right because they don't just call law enforcement. It's like not like the United States. They run around here with the lights on, and the police are really of no effect. Okay, they got their own agenda. Then you got highway traffic. I'm not even calling them officers, babysitters, and they will, threaten you, try to tell you they're going to take your vehicle. They're manipulating money out of you.
They're traffic enforcers that don't even know the right rules of the road, the lanes.
Oh
A
no,
lot of them already
no.
gave us ticket and already threatened us of getting the truck or the car that we had. But
I was
you
going to
know,
get out and smear them.
you
I
have,
was tired of it. I was
I
sick and
guess,
tired of it.
unfortunately, on top of that, you need to have at least 500 peso in
Yeah,
pocket.
she talked him down to 500 paces. But the thing is, the signage was literally hid by debris, like the trees, the foliage. It's a tropical country. It overgrows. They don't have a city road department. Okay. Cities have their own road departments that go out and take care of their local roads because they get revenue for that from the United States. Same things when the aspect of the interstate. I was downtown Los Angeles. There was a tree up in the tree on the lower runway. It was supposed to be cleared high enough, and an 18 wheel is 13.6, so it hit the limb. It takes the limb off, throws it onto a brand new car behind me, and then the person wants to start threatening me. And like I told the police officer, look, this is supposed to be a cleared roadway. We're here to function. This is a commercial pathway. And of course, she de-escalated the situation, allowed me to go. And of course, that person started griping at me. And like she told him, you're going to have to file a claim with the city because, and I was like, here, take pictures. I have no problem. I'm here right now.
The
Show
only
them what happened.
the problem we had was our license. We we had no escape.
Yeah, that at that point
So
I didn't have a license. I do have a license now, obviously, and everything, but the insurance, they don't push on the insurance. Um, like right now we got to get this motorcycle registered with that we've got. We do have the registration and the bill of sale and all that, but it's so hot here, it's hard to get to where you need to go to get these things done because it's hell on earth here.
so on top of these five dangerous whatever pictures there is. The chaotic traffic, aggressive drivers, there's a lot of them. If you don't get out of the car, if they don't get out of the car and you didn't, they think you're just a kid, right? But George one time went out of the car and that driver didn't go out. So, because a lot of them think you're in sedan, however you want to explain that sedan for
They think because the vehicle's bigger, it gives it more protection. They don't understand how cars are put together. And I've seen them split in half. But the road conditions keep be advised, even if it's a smooth terrain. Let's say they built a new road. There's two factors that you got to keep in mind. One, the road deterioration, no maintenance. They don't keep these potholes or these grooves that will snatch you around on a bike. If you're on a
hmm
motorcycle, it'll take that front wheel and take you wherever it wants to go. Next thing is these covers are not covers in the aspect of like a thick steel cover with steel ring that is actually set into the pavement that has an outer ring that keeps it at that particular level so it doesn't sink, it doesn't give way, it doesn't degrade over a short period of time. Here they use this concrete with a little bit of rebar in it and low grade rebar, literally
deteriorates fast.
deteriorates and they'll collapse and you won't know they're gone until you hit it. And
Mm.
they'll stick rocks, stones, branches up in the air, and now they're not orange. They're the same camouflage color as the offset horizon background. So you can actually come upon them, hit them. In addition, the vehicles being pulled to the side of the road with no any type of lightage. There's no lights on them or nothing. They're just sitting on the road. So that level of awareness, you have to stay stimulated and maintain that level of conscious continually running the horizon as well as your mirrors because those motorcycles may not have lights neither and they'll climb up into your blind spot and then you got a problem there. I know that's a lot. If I didn't know logistics and I didn't know transportation, you probably would have never got all this out of one person. But these are all the factors I see, including limbs in the road, down power lines, low hanging wires, because it's a rat nest on these poles. And there'll be wires that a truck has come by and hit, and now it's pulled it down to your level.
And
And
then
it,
we're affected having no power
well,
at
that
some
no
point.
power I'm worried about, but you get grabbed by the head. If you're going at high enough speed, it may or may not decapitate you, but it still could break your neck, obviously cause serious lacerations, those type of factors. And being here, infection and stuff are extremely, that's one of those things. There's no medical treatment. I'm gonna tell you, just leave it at that. But anyways, the signs when it says no going somewhere, like don't go up this road. These signs are portable on some of these streets, and it'll be between certain hours, and they may be out, they may not be out. You get up a road and find out all of a sudden it is out, even though it was a standard route.
There's no consistency. You can't always assume that you can always go that route because the
Yeah.
mango will be waiting for you.
Or even those road covers, some of them will be in three pieces of concrete, but they're there, but they'll be recessed. Best thing to understand, stay off all those covers. Don't think that they're going to be stable enough to hold the weight of you passing over it. That's going to be your best defense against that type
Tell
of.
him why we call the traffic enforcers as a
Okay,
mango.
joke time. We call them mangoes. And the joke I believe here was, what was the joke about? Did you see that sign? Yeah, I did see that sign, but I didn't see you type of deal. Because they just fall out of the trees. I mean, they literally stand beside the road, hid behind the tree, and I'm not even joking. And but as soon as you break it, they're out there like they just found Jesus. Hey! And you obviously pull over and then you go through the drama. Most time they let me go because I mean, if I know I'm in the wrong, okay, what are we going to do? Just give me the ticket. I don't want to discuss the problem with you. You're not going to do nothing. It's already been done. Your accusation. Okay, so give me the ticket and I'll go to the ticket place and we'll discuss it and figure out a solution. But some of them do want to try to engage. I don't understand them. A lot of them don't understand me. Go with the idea that nobody understands you. The terminology and the way we structure our language, even though they might know the English words, they don't understand how encapsulated the meanings are inside the texture of what our language, the way we actually structured it. So that way, just let it go, get the ticket, and obviously you have to pay it, you'll pay it. But
A
it,
lot of them gave us ticket that don't even make sense. They don't. There are boxes. Like, what is it specifically that this driver did?
Yeah, they don't
There's
have
money.
city codes. Like you know how on our tickets they'll have the code, the enforcement code for what you actually violated. It don't exist like that. There's very remedial aspect of what they've written down. So it's all due to interpretation, and that's not a good way to do it. So and because they're not going to classes. Maybe their uncle say, "Eric, come on, hang out with me on the highway, and I'm gonna teach you how this is done." That's probably the extent of the education from what I perceive. Not saying that's what it is, but that's the way I perceive it.
For the population here, to me, driving school is not cheap. Unfortunately, instead, they just go there dead or alive, or
Okay, she's talking about a driving school. I took their DMV test. I'm using our terminology. So I took their DMV test. And man, so many of those maneuvers were so far off. It had holes punched. I was like, that actually puts people further at danger. And I tried to tell the instructors, like, look, this ain't the correct maneuver for this because this puts you at jeopardy in this situation, or this wouldn't be adequate enough to maintain a safety, factor. Because in logistics, all we look at is defensive driving. If you can watch everybody else, you should be able to stay safe. Stay in your lanes. Don't cross your lines. This is my given area of transit, and this is based on the laws. This is my area to be able to work within. Anybody crossing into my realm
course.
and hits me anything, obviously that puts you at fault. But you still have to maintain the following distance. There ain't nobody following doing the following distance. That's the reason we got hit in the rear more than once. And the people think, well, okay, well, that's just, it's like it's okay. No, it's not okay. You were not doing what you were supposed to do. And now, not only did you put me in danger, but now I'm suffering the secondary consequences of now having to deal with another problem. And it takes time. It could take hours out of your day to go sit in a now police station or barangay or whichever they're going to call it and go through their whole thing of getting a settlement because they were trying to sell it right then and there. You're not going to a small claims court, traffic court, or nothing like that.
Settle it in that same room.
Yeah, in
But
that
could
day.
take you 3 to 5 hours just waiting for your turn.
Yak, yak, yakking. Okay. There ain't no documented proof outside the pictures that we took. There ain't no street cameras. There's none like that. You're not going to wait for that to come back. It's none of that. But what else we got?
No
I ended up
discipline.
ranting because it's not that I don't want her to speak on it. I need her to voice her, give her voice. But since I'm in logistics, I can punch the holes in what's wrong with this system. Okay, baby. Cover some of these.
Avoid driving yourself. We avoid driving somebody else for us. That's why we're renting our own vehicle.
Because they don't. I
It's the
just
same
told you
as
about how
locals.
they drive.
Buckle up
Well,
always.
give them experience. Tell them the problem with it. You got to give them so they
Well,
can understand.
one
We're teaching
aside
our communication.
for one, public transport. They're supposed to be commercial drivers, but again, they don't think about you. They just drive for their own pennies on in that truck, right? So even if they're already fully loaded, if there's space in the road, they will just go with the speed they want to, regardless. So on top of that, we rented a van when we moved from Oslo to Cebu. That driver was fine, but
He was fine,
he's
but he still
still
made
not
mistakes.
consistent. Yeah, he's not
I had to
consistent.
say a couple things here and there.
So if you can drive and you have local driver's license, because having United States or not local, because their theory is that our rules here are different. They don't even know that's like from the United
Their
States.
rule is called survival, and that's the one that's different.
But so if because they will have you attend the seminar and have the test like George had before you can have
Was there a seminar?
your driver's license. No, they were supposed to send us for a seminar. If you're at fault, if they found you're at fault, then they'll put you on seminar. But if you already have your driver's license and it's not expired, all that, actually George was expired, George's US license. So they have their own process
Yeah, they
of
cried
getting
about
your
that because I was here too long. My license
if
expired.
if you have your local driver's license, then that's fine. You can rent whatever truck, but we have the codes here. So I'm not sure about the US codes. We have, I think, A, B, C, D, which stands for if you have this code, you can only drive automatic
We
motorcycle.
call them driving restrictions.
Yeah,
What can you actually
restrictions.
drive? So they have that. But when I took the test, I didn't even study for it. I just went in and took it. If I don't know road laws after 24 years, not including just my regular commercial, I mean, my regular privately owned vehicles, then I obviously don't need to have a driver's license to begin with. But went there, took it, and when you're taking their test, you have to, it's not a matter of the question, it's how they're putting the question so you can understand what are we trying to convey? What maneuver are you asking me about? Because like a couple of them, there was two or three different ways you could have solved the setup because it's like they were wanting you to imagine it in your head. And that was a drawback on that test as well.
Because
There wasn't no schematics.
it's all in the text, no image, no picture that you can just see it. Because I do have my driver's license too. I just don't drive here. I can understand the lines here and there, the signs, and how we drive, but I don't feel safe driving around here.
She drives and I walk.
Buckle up always, all the time. Use your seat belt because again, you're surrounded by, I don't want to say
It's going to
people.
hurt no matter how it turns out. Even
Yeah.
in the United States, it's going to hurt.
Avoid riding at night.
Now, I personally find it safer riding at night because everybody's home by 9
Yeah.
p.m. Okay. When they say night, my thing at night is 2 or 3 in the morning because, you know, I'm used to driving all night in the United States. So there's not a lot of people on the roadway. But like I said, those vehicles that are breaking down or anything like that, there's not going to be, you know, people sit out cones, tricones, the triangle cones out, they will literally set them right behind the vehicle. They don't teach them. You need to set them damn things yards away. Like the first one that you set should roughly be somewhere, I think it's around 75 or 100 yards away. Three is giving you signals. Hey, there's something going on up ahead. Hey, we're not playing. There's something going up ahead. Hell, they shit. There's the vehicle that's broke down
It's the
with
same.
your four-way flashers on.
It's the same as our signs here.
But they
You
don't do that. It's literally here. I'm so damn lazy. I'm going to go stack, 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 and this should make the whole world know I'm here. And yeah,
It's already
and
too
there's no,
late for
yeah,
you to
you
make
can't
the move.
respond.
Yeah. Stay alert, no distractions. Absolutely, because you're surrounded with those people that
You're
play.
surrounded with distractions. All the people on anything else has a motor in it's a distraction.
Mhm. Trust your instincts. What do you think, George?
Now, look, we're talking about, hold up. You need to read these because they need to understand. No heavy phone use. You don't need to be doing that because I don't know what they would do in the United States. They'll pull your database and obviously see what your activities have been. No headphones. That's obvious. You cannot hear the surroundings around you. The windshields here are way beyond standard tinting, so at night becomes a lot less visibility just based on how the vehicle is equipped. I've had people dressed in very dark attire nearly walk out in front of me, and I would have killed them. I would have damn straight killed them.
That's
Stay focused at all points. Don't let the beautiful young wife sitting in the passenger seat distract you with her ice cream and her bubbly, bubbly, whatever she's up to
in driving
every
school,
second.
they promote avoiding riding at nights because our roads here are dark. So a lot of consumers or whatever you citizens here just cross even though it's not the right crossing.
Yeah, they jaywalking.
Yeah. They wear camouflage, they wear dark, and we don't have a lot of our roads here don't really have lights.
Now, they got LED light systems somewhere, and even they don't work 100%.
Even the vehicles, motorcycles, their lights are dead.
No tail
So,
lights. And when she says dead,
like
unless you see the
dead.
silhouette of the individual, you don't see nothing.
But as long as you're staying alert and your guard's up all the time, pretty much you're
It
safe
takes
when
a
you're out.
lot out of me to drive.
That's why even in driving school, that is promoted to avoid as much as you can avoid driving nights. But for us, it works because less hustle with a lot of drivers being around us. As long we don't really play phones anyway. When we're in the car, we don't play phone. So
No,
he's
unless we're
is
doing
always here.
GPS stuff, yeah.
Yeah.
And she looks it up. So the whole point behind this wasn't to scare you, obviously. It's just to keep you alive. We're not
Awareness.
saying keep you safe. We're literally saying keep you alive. So be prepared, be safe, and obviously enjoy the Philippines, and be respectful of the road conditions. Remember, adjust your speed to the weather conditions. Make sure you got plenty of fuel. They don't have fuel stops everywhere, okay? If you see you're gonna go way off road, carry those extra gas cans. If you're going to be here a while, obviously get the tire repair kits, carry some basic tools because there ain't no roadside service.
This is this is where the pre and post check will definitely be required. Like, in when we were recruiting, make sure make sure you already checked your truck before you go, and when you stop somewhere, check it again, because we don't have, like, on the maps, you can't really tell which where you can have your
We
trucks
do
checked,
pre-checks on our bike. We check the brakes, the signals, the lights, make sure they're running right.
the
And we go
tires.
and people, they get mad at us because we've got high beams, right? We light up like a UFO because we need you to see us. I had to quit caring about what your problem is. I have to make sure. And yes, you can say, "Oh, well, you're blinding them out. They can't see." They're who am I going to defend more, myself or them? They can see good enough because on a four lane, as long as I'm in a four lane, I'm in the right lane. It's plenty. I know how lights work. Okay, they're all adjusted correctly and all that stuff.
Besides, there's really no difference having low or beam light. With a low, supposedly we're safe, but apparently not. With a beam, with a high beam, it still don't make any difference,
We've
really.
had them slide right. Oh, there was the other one that slid up onto us, and we were literally at a wreck, and the idiot motorcycle boy run up on us and bumped us. Pissed me off. Okay, there was motorcycles everywhere. So everybody got it. I didn't care. I was like, see this? This is what I'm talking about. Y'all don't take into consideration where you're at and what's going on. You think you can play Rocket Man, and I don't understand it. You can easily die. Okay. I've had a 17-year-old from the back of a Cherokee truck, the door separated. They threw a throwing a truck, but the door literally cut the boy's head off.
This is
Messed the
the
girl up too, but
I think he's probably talking about
United
yours.
States.
Yeah. But the story here is whatever excuses, they will have excuses. So you'll be aware that, even though it doesn't apply to your situation, they will try to escape the situation. So what will you do next if this happens to you? Because it can happen to you anytime. It varies. Like for us, the worst thing we had was the car was actually dented and the paint and all that. So far, we're
See,
good.
that's different. I'm not jumping on. She's right about money wise. Getting hit in the rear, that was the worst one. It literally jarred our necks. I'm looking at my personal body. The hell with the materialistic stuff. And it jarred us hard enough that both of our necks were hurting. Okay. And when we're talking about high density population, a lot of foot traffic, and the guy, how did he have that much speed to hit us like that? And, I forgot what his story was, but that was the one that concerned me because it actually had physical damage. I mean, we actually got hurt. But yeah, she's right. The most expensive one was the taxi. Tell him about the taxi, babe.
Now, with that was, I'm telling you the story just so you're aware how to, I don't know, work it out or negotiate it with, depending on type of driver, if it's commercial or if it's personal driver vehicle. For us, we had that personal truck driver, he had pickup truck, and the front of his truck was not covered with plastic. Explain.
Oh no, it was still,
Yeah, it's
he'd
steel.
already done hit something else. And the bumper was in the back of the truck.
His truck was already damaged. It's like he's just using it just for transportation, like he's practical. And his
Yeah.
excuse was he didn't have
I don't think
sleep.
he had no brakes applied when he hit us.
He didn't have sleep, so he was passing out. That was his story. But
In
with
the
that,
city, passing out in the city, how can you not pull your vehicle? So you gotta get personal. If you cannot function a vehicle, you have to exit the road. I don't care where you go to sleep. Who cares? And the people do care, they're weirdos. Road safety is a priority. I mean, I can go down the stories. Traveling in the United States at 75, 85 miles per hour. And plus, because people do speed, that's the regular speed limit, not in addition to the people that are speeding. Um, being out there on the 18 wheeler, I've had plenty of people die in my hands because I felt guilty because I knew what I'm doing and I need to stop. Hopefully, maybe they're salvageable. Your body. I can if you're dying, I can look at you and I can tell you you're not going to make it. People got a real delusion out. Well, let's call in a helicopter. You have to call to get the damn helicopter in the air. Okay. Those cops don't know whether to get a helicopter in the air. You're there to make that decision. That's the reason you're EMS. That takes time. So being time effectiveness and being here, you're in bad shape. I mean, if you just hit anything, even if you hit an artery in your leg or wherever it may be, if you crack a rib and it turned internally and hit the arch of your aorta, even your clavicle, people don't realize what a broken clavicle can do. Um, just be aware of that. I'm not trying to scare you. I mean, me knowing my life experience and what I've seen, I'm not trying to freak you out. That's the reason I'm so hostile toward people that do that. But that being said, please be safe.
So going back, if you're
Oh,
not
you in
accident,
trouble. Sorry, baby.
if you're not in the hospital and you think you can work things out, avoid, being vindictive and being hostile to each other, negotiate it with money. For us, so far, we never really asked for time inconvenience. Because the car is not really ours, so we spoken with, if you're being a tourist anyway, I'm sure it's either you have your driver or you rented a car, right? So speak with the owner of that truck or when I say truck, it's like pickup truck, or sedan or car. And then the cop will have them speak together, each other, and they will close it like that.
Yeah, so they negotiate out. We had, like she said, we didn't ask for no monetary compensation for time and suffering, basically, because it is stressful. But also, it's not that we've been hurt where we've had to seek secondary medical attention, but
Because
you know,
it'll take longer than it's supposed to be anyway. So
yeah,
will it be worth my time? No.
no.
So have the owner and that driver communicate. And before you leave the conversation, make sure that that's close. That way you're not in the middle of whatever.
And make sure that the person renting out the car is actually on some kind of rental car thing because you can rent a car from somebody and like you might know them, and they're just renting their car out. That actually can backfire on you because of their insurance policy may not cover it, or they may not be meeting the whatever legal aspect of it that's required to actually be a rental car service.
I'm sure if you're on a rental, the owner of that car or that business will give you a briefing or orientation. Like with us,
That
the
we did
owner,
not.
the owner of our car has already been our friend. We've been renting his car for a long time. So when we were in that situation, we were friends, and he'll give you the story. But another situation was with a commercial cab driver. So that's a different situation. It's not personal vehicle owner this time. Now, with that, it will be still the car owner, our car owner, and that the company of that cab driver will pay for supposedly for the inconvenience or whatever else, not the cab driver. So if you want to work the truck for that car rental that you're renting, if you're close as like we are with our car owner, then take advantage because they just messed up your time.
We had some close calls, but we made it through. And it really frustrates both of us, especially when the guy hit her leg. I was upset majorly because we were literally not, we weren't even in motion. We were literally in front of the car.
That's the problem. The more you're not in motion, the more you get hit.
Yeah. The guy
Because
just
that
ran into us. And it's like, I was, woo. I wanted to, they
the
really glad there was two police there. They had just happened to be there.
the
They didn't seem concerned a bit, but I wanted to just tear their asses up.
yeah, we were still in the right lane, and whatever happens, you twist and turn the earth, they were at fault. Um, so I guess learn to negotiate. If you want to make it more complex, it's your choice, but nothing is easy here in the Philippines. So you may as well just negotiate it.
And as long as you walk away, it's still stressful. For you being from another country, I'm gonna tell you because I'm the one from the other country, it's stressful. She may not feel as much because she's native to here. She's a Filipino, national. But me being a redneck, being from the United States, they see us as money. You got to make sure but go and start building your own defense. Don't listen to them. Start popping those pictures, everything, record the conversations. She was busy recording the conversations, people admitting that they were wrong and all that stuff. All that data, helps for transparency. Because remember, it's all due to perception and interpretation. But yeah, definitely going to be defensive when you do it. I hate to tell you, you got to be like this, but I'm just giving you the hindsight. This is way before it ever happens. But the biggest thing, as long as nobody gets hurt, it's a good day.
If you can, if you're renting vehicle, try to find somebody that have insurance. We were lucky to have one. The car was it's small for George, but it's tinted, the AC works, and it has insurance.
Yeah, it was real tenant. And I talk about the tent because it wasn't legal, but when it come to hiding from the sun, yeah, you
You
know
will
what I
want to
mean?
have one with a tint.
Yeah. And carry you some blankets or some towels or something, you know what I mean? So you can actually roll down the windows and stick them in there for in the heat of the day. You just want to relax. Because here it's different in the United States. If you want to take a nap somewhere, just pull over. We take our tablet or phone, watch a movie, and just lay there and relax for 2 or 3 hours just
Because
because.
supposedly that's how it is. When you're tired, exhausted, you can't function the right way.
Yeah.
Here, even if they're tired, they just
If this thing ain't fed and got rest, oh my gosh. It gets bad. Okay. So feed her, calm her down. Our dogs are barking at back because I'm barking at them. But that being said, feed her, calm her down, put her in the shade, get her head back together, and then she's ready to go. But the thing is, don't over push yourself. We're tired, we're tired. It's just
like that driver that hit us on the back. You're tired, we were tired too. But if you cannot manage, don't put others in danger. You can suicide, that's your freedom, but don't put us in danger, you know.
but anyways, that being said, maybe commercial.
Oh yeah, visit truckdrivernation.com. We have webinars every Wednesday, 6:30 p.m. Central Time. So if you wish to join, send your email, the date for that Wednesday that you'd like to join, because I know not everybody's available every Wednesday. So put that date and then your Wednesday, your email to 210-343-1118 or to his phone number, which I don't have in my head. So send it to me. Support at truckdrivernation.com. And we have other platform available like Telegram, WhatsApp, and the homepage of the website.
That's truckdrivernation.com. So just go in there, go down the front, the homepage, go down. There's QR codes. Pop it with your phone. It takes you directly to us. If you want to talk directly to me, it's going to be the Telegram. That should help you out, obviously. But if you want to actually work from home as an independent freight dispatcher, we got training classes. We actually do mentorship just so you don't just get some course and then you're not able to proceed on into the career. We've got it fixed, so we'll show you how to do it part-time or full-time, especially for you expats and digital nomads that want to get around and get about. That as long as you got that internet, that computer high speed, that noise canceling headset, and a good cell phone, and of course you VoIP, even though I know you got a phone, then obviously that's all you really need. Please make sure to go to Truck Driver Nation YouTube channel. We got a lot of content there to update, whether it's about living in the Philippines. We're going to do some stuff about probably Hong Kong and some other ones, but right now we've been focusing on this because we just started doing this. But like or subscribe, we appreciate it. Apparently, it helps us out. Not sure how. Are we sure how it helps us out yet?
I know. We don't have to explain, they know.
Because I don't.
Um, Also, just to clarify, because we met some travelers here and there. George don't conduct trainings or sessions unless you're actually a participant already, because we already did that before. We wasted our time
Oh,
and
please.
we're
Can I do my impression?
we're still doing it. So go ahead.
Oh, please. Can you get a little bit of time you spend with us? Come up here. We'll buy you lunch and all that. Like we needed to have lunch bought for us. Go up there because we thought they were serious about getting into freight dispatching. And obviously, we got to monetize it because that's how we make a living, right? We are teachers, literally. This is Teacher Maria. I'm Teacher George. How you doing today? With that being said, You go there, you start giving them, they're searching for information because
They're
people that
fishing.
can't do it on their own always want to leech on the people that do. We're doers. I can make something out of nothing. I've got the United States mentality. So that being said, that's the reason she's saying we're not catering to people. From now on, if you want me to come talk to you, it's $500. Pay it up ahead and I'll go meet you for a couple of hours and I'll tell you exactly what we do. But anyways, baby, go ahead.
It's not 500 now, but regardless, if you're not participant, then we are not going to waste our time because you don't want your time wasted neither. If you say you know it, then be it as it may, but don't drag
Yeah.
our time because you see me being like this, always exhausted in the camera because I am, but when I'm energetic, I'm different, you know. But anyway, feel free to reach out. Oh, by the way, last Wednesday I enjoyed the meeting. I actually did the meeting and I think it went well. We have a lot of participants. Thank you.
My
Thank
baby's
you.
growing up. She did. She did good.
Yeah. Um, so anyway, that's it. We have another one this coming Wednesday. Again, that's 6:30. Feel free to join. If you're already participant, you don't have to join the Wednesday. You'll be on Tuesdays or Thursdays instead.
Yeah, if you've been in there, we're cutting that out because we find out people are just seeking information. You got plenty of other ways to do this. I know you, if you think you want to be a freight dispatch, you think you can just run around and get it off the YouTube, you're more than welcome to try to do that. But one thing, you always got to have the complete step-by-step process, the transparency, the mentorship, those types of things of being an effective freight dispatcher, including people don't understand. You have got to learn how to talk to owner operators and recruit. I know that had nothing to do with that, and we'll shut it down at that because this is based on this subject. But anyways, I appreciate the opportunity. You guys spending time with us. You want to end it out, baby?
Yeah.
Anything else you want to say?
No, appreciate your time. Talk to you soon. Bye.